What a great
Get
Christmas gift.
great
Jimmy, where
Christmas.
would I get that if
You
I
get
wanted?
that right underneath there.
Really?
Yeah, right there.
Teespring.
So on strike, Amazon workers walk out in Germany, Spain, Italy, and the UK. Workers seek higher pay, safer, more humane working conditions in Black Friday. So they did this on Black Friday. They're not effing around. You know why they get to do that in Germany, Spain, and Italy, and the UK? Because they have Medicare for all. That would be why they are able to do that. No one's afraid of their, oh my God, I'd be screwed for the rest of my life. I won't be able to I'll have to die because I won't be able to afford my health care.
I can't resist management because they're going to make me die.
Right. I can't resist management because my kid's got diabetes and I've got cancer treatments and then they'll take my house and they'll bankrupt us and then we'll be homeless. That's what happens in America. People go bankrupt, even people with health insurance. So that's why they can do that. And that's why Nancy Pelosi isn't giving you Medicare for all. Nancy Pelosi is not going to give you Medicare for all. Just so you know, if it ever comes to a time when it might pass, she will kill it. Just like Barack Obama did with the public option. Here's a tweet. The GMB union at Amazon, we are not robots. Isn't that nice?
Oh, they have unions for Amazon
They
workers.
have unions for Amazon
Weird.
workers in Europe. Isn't that weird?
I wonder if that was, it couldn't have anything to do with why Bezos just went, yeah, I'll give you $15 an hour in America.
Well, you know what?
Then he won't have a union.
Then he won't have a union. And you know what else is interesting is that, so Nissan has, I think, now I might be slightly off on the numbers, but I'm going to be pretty close. Nissan has 50 auto plants around the world, 50. They have 3 of them are not union. Where are those 3?
Gee, let me guess. Would it be
in the United States of America?
What? Well, that's the thing too. People always talk about like when America was, we got to get it back to when it was so great in the 50s.
Yeah,
okay.
with unions.
Highest union rates, highest regulation of banking, and the
Right.
highest tax rate.
90%.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on. Amazon workers in Germany, Spain, Italy, and the UK walked off the job on Black Friday.
Oh, what a perfect strategy.
Mixing labor unrest with the start of the biggest shopping season of the year. That's how you stick it to someone. You don't play nice.
You don't warn them.
You don't go on strike on a Saturday or Sunday so it's convenient for everybody's schedule. You show Amazon without us, your biggest shopping day is done. Is done. I mean, the only thing that is a little unfair is I don't know how Bezos is going to buy jet fuel for his $75 million Gulfstream, but you know what I mean? I feel a little bad for him.
Close to 90% of the workers, some 1,600 employees, according to Business Insider, participated in the walkout at Spain's largest Amazon warehouse in San Fernando de Henares near Madrid, and will continue to strike Saturday, Reuters reported. So that's today. They're continuing the strike. Some 620 workers also walked out at German distribution centers in Bad Hersfeld and Rheinberg. But Amazon officials said most staff continued working and customer services were unaffected, according to Reuters. Those frickin' Germans won't walk off the goddamn job. Only 620 of them. Good for you. Tip of the hat to the 620 Germans. But most of the staff continued working. You know, it doesn't work if you're not united. That's the whole point of a union called union.
That's why Jeff Bezos sent out a union-busting technique video for his Whole Foods management because Whole Foods employees are unionizing.
Oh, really?
They want to unionize. Yes.
Yeah, you should be. They give you points like, have you noticed people that typically don't talk together are now having lunch together?
No kidding.
Yes.
Is there someone getting signatures and lists? Find that person. Literally, it's horrifying.
I haven't seen that video.
Oh, they released.
Send it to me, please. I would love to do a show. A segment on it.
You absolutely should, because it's like it's crazy.
You know, and Jimmy, I was just thinking isn't this Monday, Cyber Monday, where they expect everybody to go online and, this is perfect. This is perfect timing.
And if you don't want to support, another way to support these people working for Amazon, don't buy Amazon products and go to Jimmy Dore to do your shopping or GrantMelwood.com to do your shopping this Cyber Monday.
Yeah. You go over. Do we have a link to our T-shirts and stuff over at the website? Okay, that's smart. That's smart of us to do that.
There you go. Vote with your dollars.
So more back to the story. We are standing up and saying enough is enough. These are people making Amazon its money. People with kids, homes, and bills to pay. They're not robots. Jeff Bezos is the richest bloke on the planet. He can afford to sort this out. Easily afford to sort this out. Jeff Bezos could give everybody a $15 raise and still be the richest guy in the history of the world.
He could peel off one of his $158 billion. Just one of them.
One of the billions.
One of the 158. He would only then have 157 billion, and he could help out all of his employees and all their kids have better lives. I ask you, Bezos, what fucking kind of soul do you have?
None.
Where you don't even want to help people?
Well, Graham, they've done those studies that the richer you become, the less you're able to pick up on other people's emotions cues and the less empathy you have for people.
Really?
They've done those. Oh, yes. Rich people start to be unable to pick up on other people's emotions in their faces. Did you know that? I'm not making this up. This is a smarty pants research people. So let's get back to this for real quick. And keep to this point about Jeff Bezos, how rich he is. And the people who make this for him are all treading water. You know how much it would cost to end homelessness in the United States? It would cost $20 billion. Jeff Bezos could do that and still have $139 billion. He could end homelessness not just in Seattle, in the entire country. End it. He could do that. Also, you know how much it would cost to end world hunger? $32 billion, you end world hunger. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. We could end world hunger for $32 billion. He could also end homelessness. He would still have $100 billion left over. He would still be the richest guy in the world. He can end homelessness and world hunger, and he won't do it. You know what he's going to spend his money on? Space exploration. You know why? Because people with that kind of money who make money off of other people's misery and slave labor are megalomaniacs. They have Jeff Bezos has a personality disorder of the highest order. He's in bed with the CIA. He owns the newspaper of note. He controls our politicians. He controls our entire goddamn economy. He gets people to give him tax breaks. They just got $1 billion tax break in New York City. You know who didn't? The rest of the fucking companies. But you know who does? The richest guy in the history of the world. That's how it works. And so the 24-hour German strike, they're only striking for 24 hours, those mother. The 24-hour German strike was organized by the Verdi Services Union, which is demanding better pay and safe and healthy working conditions. The union, which has been pushing for years for higher pay, says Amazon workers receive lower wages than others in retail and mail order jobs. Of course, Amazon says the opposite. Little addendum to this story, Graham. Amazon reportedly left police in Spain dumbfounded by asking them to intervene in a mass warehouse strike and patrol worker productivity. I'll say that 3 times. Wow. Amazon asked police in Spain to intervene in a mass strike. How? To keep the peace, keep safety? No. To go into a warehouse on the outskirts of Madrid and do what? Amazon wanted a police presence at the warehouse to ensure that productivity remained high within the fulfillment center. While workers staged their protest outside, according to Spanish newspaper El Confidencial.
Wow.
This is beyond Orwell now.
This is like the beatings will continue until morale improves. It's like that thing. That's insane.
Don't worry about what's happening outside.
Keep
being productive.
Pay no attention to the showers.
Yeah. Just breathe deeply.
Breathe deep. Pay no attention.
So what, Jimmy, the whole thing here is we see this time and time again that the police take the side of the corporation.
Yes.
And the people are the fucking problem.
Well, not here.
Oh, no kidding?
No, because a source at Spanish Union CCOO, which helped coordinate the strikes, told Business Insider that Amazon wanted to send the police inside the warehouse to push people to work. Spanish newspaper El Confidencial reported that Amazon met with police officials after the strike was announced. It wanted local officers to force employees to go to their respective jobs and ensure their performance was identical to that of a normal working day.
God.
You know, with police over your shoulder making you work. That kind of normal working day.
Just nothing too violent. Just sort of swing a billy club close to people who might want to not work as hard.
Wasn't too long ago in Spain, they were cops were beating people who wanted to vote.
Yes.
Now they're going to beat you if you don't work hard enough. What the F? And we're worried about Putin.
Yeah, right.
People in America are worried about Putin, not Jeff Bezos. Amazon's request dumbfounded police, according to El Confidencial. The request was categorically rejected by the police, who maintained that controlling labor productivity doesn't fall within its powers. Law enforcement officials reportedly emphasized to Amazon that Spanish law protects workers' rights to strike. They told the company that police would be present at the strike, but would limit themselves to keeping the peace.
Where was this police chief when they were protesting at
Occupy?
Yeah, or Standing Rock.
Or Standing Rock?
You mean when they hired the Tiger Swan at Standing Rock?
Yeah, but that's not in the United States.
Oh.
The United States, our government is run by oligarchs, literally, who bribe the politicians. All the power in the United States is in the financial sector. It's got nothing to do with the government. Government doesn't have any power. Government serves the financial powers in America. That's why it doesn't really matter what economic system we have, whether we have socialism. You have socialism with the right-wing government, they're still going to fuck you. You need to have a left-wing government. You need to have democracy. That's what we don't have right now. That's the problem, and that's why all these efforts by all these organizations, very well-meaning, and I support them all, to overtake our political process and give it back to the people through the Democratic Party, that's why it's not working. Money runs the government. They're not going to all of a sudden just go, okay. And if it ever looks like the people are going to take over from this oligarch, your democracy's already been taken from you. And no one's making a serious push to get it back. The Democrats don't even scream about open voter suppression. Why aren't they screaming about reinstating the Voting Rights Act? They're not. Why aren't they screaming about getting rid of the Electoral College? They're not. Why aren't they screaming for proportional representation? They're not. Why aren't they screaming for ranked choice voting? They're not. Because we're living in an oligarchy, and the Democrats serve the oligarchs. And as we saw this week, the progressives all got behind the oligarchs. The Progressive Caucus is supporting Nancy Pelosi. She's the problem. She's why they got elected to go fight her, and they're supporting her. No one will even in the Progressive Caucus will even run against Nancy Pelosi. The Blue Dogs might run someone against her, but the frickin' progressives won't. That's what happens in an anti-revolutionary party, and you try to be a revolutionary. You end up celebrating a committee appointment, which is not why people voted for you. People didn't vote, well, I'm voting for a rebel who's going to upturn the apple cart because she might get a committee appointment, which means nothing. No bill gets taken a vote on unless Nancy Pelosi, unless the speaker says it's okay. And everyone says they love the Tea Party. Nobody loves their policies, but they love their tactics. Well, the Democratic progressives are not following their tactics because they're getting behind the establishment.
They're suckers.
So your revolution just let all the air out of it. But here we are, and Bernie Sanders, as you saw at the top of the show, he has 10 points. But Nancy Pelosi's not for Medicare for all. You're going to have to fight Nancy Pelosi on that. Anyway, so extra scary. that Amazon wants the police to come into their fulfillment centers and make people work harder. They want the cops. That's the state. I don't know if you know what that's called, but I do. That's called fascism. When the state gets together with corporations to screw the people and help the corporation, that's fascism. That's what I was always taught. Do you know of a better? People will say, no, it's when the government takes control of the production. No. When government is there serving the interest of the oligarchs and corporations at the detriment to the workers, to me, that's fascism. Now, I'm sure there'll be a political scientist who will correct me on the exact definition, but the effects aren't any different. The effects are you get the oligarchs asking the state to go in and force people to work so they can make more money. Not the people make more money, so that the corporation can make more money. And they own the state, the government. You see how this works? That's what we're living in. So that's why, in order to fix this, we needed a real radical push from someone like Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Nina Turner, Ro Khanna, all those people, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Pramila Jayapal, all those people needed to start a third party that was not beholden to the oligarchs. And they could have got it done. But they're not doing that. So they're all working inside the system, and so here we are. Here we are, left with a blue wave that's getting behind the problem, Nancy Pelosi, and we're left with Jeff Bezos. He's supposed to be the resistance to Trump. He owns the Washington Post. They're supposed to be the resistance. He's a fascist. Who will punish writers at the Washington Post if they write a negative article about him or the Amazon? I mean, he's done that before. So this is the world we're living in, and a lot of people act like we have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time left. There's going to be those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. That's John F. Kennedy. That's not me. And it's happening. All I do is tell the truth about what's going on, and they demonetize our show. I guess I'm thankful they let us stay on YouTube. But the oligarchs are coming for us. They're coming. The next war is coming, and it's going to be in Iran. And they're going to they're already silencing all their critics. And they're going to have the cops. They know that revolution's coming. So now they're passing laws making it illegal to be mean to cops. Right? They're making you a terrorist. And also, they took away habeas corpus, so they can now throw you in jail without ever charging you. They don't have to do it to a lot of people. They just have to do it to a couple leaders. And it scares the shit out of everyone. Which is why why would they pass that law if they weren't going to fucking use it? So here we are. They're Amazon. You don't think it's... Look what they did to peaceful protesters across this country who were rightly protesting the takeover of our culture and our government, the hijacking of it by banks. Rightly so. Look what happened to those people. They wouldn't beat the shit out of those people. How far is it away from beating the shit out of peaceful protesters who are rightfully protesting the takeover of our goddamn country by banks and oligarchs to then hitting them, beating them to make them work for you? So that's I wanted to do that story. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Go ahead. You have anything to add to that?
Well, I mean, it's already happening. I mean, they've beaten and arrested people for wanting clean water in Flint, Michigan. They've
arrested people in Flint, Michigan
for wanting clean water.
Yeah.
People who were Dakota Access Standing Rock. Look what they did. Red Fawn Fallis, she's still in jail. I mean, they've arrested numerous people for wanted clean water. They don't want pipelines. The Dakota Access Pipeline has already leaked.
It's already leaked.
They're treating people that are protesting the pipeline down in Louisiana as terrorists.
Yep, that's exactly. You're an environmental terrorist.
You're an environmental terrorist.
If not a Russian.
Right. If not a Russian. What like, I don't know that they get what's happening because there's another recession coming. And, when there's 20 million, 30 million people out of work, what are you going to do?
I know.
How are you going to stop them?
I know.
When Occupy happened, I said, guess what? This is going to come back more organized and probably, I hope not, but probably more violent.
Yeah.
And you start taking people's food and they have no hope?
They have no hope.
Then what?
What about somebody who's sick and can't get and doesn't have health care and went bankrupt and you took their house away? What do they have to lose?
Right.
They got nothing to lose. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. Become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice when we